Hey, this is M from the 33 Secrets, and in this video, I'm going to give you 3 easy tricks that you can use to start meeting tons of beautiful women at your gym starting today. First off, you want to make sure you work out at a gym that beautiful women actually go to. What kind of gyms do beautiful women go to? Beautiful women tend to go to gyms that are in safe areas that are generally located in the nicest parts of town, where they don't feel like they're going to get mugged or killed just because they want to work out. Beautiful women also like to frequent gyms that are clean and well kept and where other members actually care about being fit. So if your gym is in a bad part of town, isn't well kept, and all the people working out there are all out of shape, texting and watching TV instead of working out, then chances are there are not going to be a whole lot of beautiful women at that gym. So you want to start working out at gyms where beautiful women actually go. And it may cost you a little more, however, it will be well worth it because you'll be surrounded by members who actually take their health and fitness serious, which will make you want to take your health and fitness serious. Not to mention, working out at a gym where you're surrounded by lots of beautiful women will in fact push you to work out harder and eat healthier because you're constantly going to be seeing these women every time you go to work out. So you'll constantly be thinking twice about downing that cheeseburger and french fries the night before you go work out. So there are a lot of benefits to spending a little more money for a gym membership that has members that actually take their health and fitness serious. Now personally, I was a member of Crunch for a long period of time, and at that time I was paying almost double of what it cost to work out at a nearby 24-hour fitness. And if you've ever been to a 24-hour fitness in a major city, you'll find out real quick why it's so cheap to be a member there. So make sure you're working out at the right type of gym where lots of beautiful women actually go. With that said, here are 3 easy tricks you can start using to meet beautiful women at your gym right now. Secret trick number 1, get on the machine next to her. This will generally be a cardio machine, treadmill, stairmaster, elliptical. Most beautiful women spend a minimum of 20 minutes on cardio, but you don't even need 20 minutes, at least not when you first meet her. All you really need is just a few minutes, okay? You just need a few minutes to jump on the machine right next to her and indirectly introduce yourself. Now, normally the 2 methods for approaching women that almost every dating coach on the planet teaches are direct and indirect. However, when it comes to beautiful women, especially beautiful women you are likely to see again, like at your gym for example, you always want to go indirect because you always want to have an escape route if anything ever goes wrong. You never want her convinced that you were trying to hit on her, okay? You never want her convinced that you were trying to pick her up and blow your opportunity to keep pushing forward with her the next time you see her. So you always want to go indirect 100% of the time when it comes to beautiful women, especially at your gym. Because when you go direct and you immediately try and hit on her and you fail, there's no escaping that. And every time she sees you at the gym, she's going to feel awkward around you, which is going to make you feel awkward. And if you try and hit on other beautiful women at your gym, which you should, she'll be right there to pull her aside in the locker room to tell her all about you. So it's just better to stay indirect, okay? I don't care what you've heard in the past from dating gurus and PUAs, all telling you, it's okay to go direct. I'm telling you otherwise. It's a big mistake to go direct with a beautiful woman at the gym because you're going to see her again, okay? And you don't want to feel awkward. You don't want her to feel awkward. Okay, the only time you ever want to go direct with a beautiful woman, and this is the only time, is when there's a time constraint involved and you have no choice but to go direct, okay? That's the only time. And an example of that would be when you kiss close a beautiful woman. You kiss close a beautiful woman you've just met. You might be in a crowded bar or at an event where you're just passing each other. you lock eyes and you go in for a quick makeout. You know, for you guys who've never done this before, I'll teach you in a future lesson, but it's very easy to make out with beautiful women you've never met, you know, especially in crowded places where there's a time constraint involved. You know, this is the only time you should ever go direct. You know, when there's a time constraint involved, when you're just passing each other, probably not going to see her again, and you're just, you know, you're trying to throw the Hail Mary, okay? Because if you mess up, who cares? Keep walking, no one will ever know, and you'll never have to see her again. So this is the only time you should go direct, when there's a time constraint involved. Otherwise, it's indirect all the way, especially if you have to see this beautiful woman again. You don't want her avoiding you out of fear that you're going to try and ask her out every time you see her. You know, you want to keep that door open, and the way to keep that door open is by keeping her guard down. So the goal of your first initial conversation with a beautiful woman at your gym is to simply open up the door for more conversation for the next time you see her. That's it. The last thing you're going to do is attempt to immediately ask her out the very first time you talk to her. You never want to do that. Okay, your initial conversation is going to be key to conversating with her again for the next time you see her. So your initial conversation needs to be short, brief, and to the point. All you're looking to do with your initial conversation is simply introduce yourself without setting off any alarm bells. That's it. And you can do this simply by jumping on the machine next to her, pretending to play with the buttons for a few seconds, then simply tapping her on the shoulder and asking her if the machine is broken. And she'll say, I don't know, I'm not sure. And you'll say, okay, well, do you mind tapping me on the shoulder when you're done? I'm gonna be right over there on the bicycles. And she'll say, yeah, that's fine. And you'll say, okay, my name's Paul. What's your name? And she'll say, Amy. And you'll say, thanks, Amy, I'll be over there. And when she comes over to tap you, you can say, thanks again, I really appreciate it. And you can push a little further and you can ask her, you know, so how long did you last on that thing? And she'll say, about 20 minutes. And you'll say, cool, sounds like you had a great workout. Thanks again, Amy. And walk away. That's it. Mission accomplished. You accomplished your goal of introducing yourself and opening the door for more conversation for the next time you see her, without setting off any alarm bells that you were trying to hit on her. Because most guys will in fact sit there and try to keep the conversation going with her for as long as they can, waiting for an opportunity to ask her out, all in the first meeting. And a lot of times she will play along with them and even give them her phone number. However, she's already blown them out in her head and they don't even know it. She's already got it in her head that the next time she sees this guy, she's gonna avoid him like the plague and have her excuse ready for why she can't go out with him. He's already done. You, on the other hand, are still in the game. Understand, two of the biggest keys to attracting beautiful women successfully is patience and self-control. Okay? Patience and self-control. Most guys who've never had this education before have neither, which is one of the biggest reasons why most guys fail. Okay, secret trick number 2. If you're not in the cardio section, but instead you're in the weight room and you see a beautiful woman in there, because a lot of beautiful women are going for that toned physique these days, you can simply start your initial conversation with her by simply asking her to spot you. Okay? Asking her to spot you. This is another great trick for meeting beautiful women at the gym, and it won't set off any alarm bells because all you're asking her to do is spot you. And you want to tell her that you usually lift on your own, but you're feeling a little out of it today, so just in case, you're gonna say, you know, do you mind spotting me on a couple of sets? And you can tell her, you know, I'm only doing a couple of sets, so it's not like you're gonna ruin her entire workout. And after you're done, you can simply say thanks and quickly introduce yourself. You know, you just wanna sneak that in there. You can say, my name's Joe, and she'll say, you know, my name's Katie, and you'll say, thanks, Katie, I really appreciate it, enjoy your workout. Then walk away. That's it. Mission accomplished. And next time you see her, you can now push forward and she won't suspect you're trying to hit on her. do not sit there and keep talking unless she starts a conversation with you, which again, if she's a beautiful woman, will almost never happen. So don't expect it to, and don't sit there like a wuss waiting for signs of attraction from her. Be willing to walk away immediately after you introduce yourself in order to keep any alarm bells from going off in her head. Because as soon as she suspects that you're sitting there trying to hit on her, trying to pick her up, which she'll automatically suspect just because you're talking to her, you'll be out, you'll be done. But when you ask her for a simple spot, then you say thanks, and then you walk away, and you leave it at that. She will be blown away. She will believe that, okay, I was wrong. This guy is not trying to hit on me. No, you're gonna throw her off balance, which is what you want. Okay, you're gonna throw her off because she's not used to that. Most guys will sit there and they'll try to keep pushing forward. Okay, and then as soon as she realizes that, she'll be like, oh, he was just asking for a spot because he's trying to fulfill his outcome, his agenda. You know, and like I've told you in previous videos, you need to be completely 100% free from the outcome in order to succeed with beautiful women. If you are attached to the outcome, you will fail every time and you will experience approach anxiety every time. Okay? And when you detach yourself from the outcome, you will not experience approach anxiety and you will not fail every single time. Okay, I mean, you're gonna have a very high success rate, and I'm gonna pound this into your head until you get this, that you need to detach yourself from the outcome, free yourself from the outcome, and just have these outcome-free interactions with beautiful women. Allow her to start communicating her interest in you first, before you communicate yours. Because remember that from a previous lesson too, she needs to communicate her interest before you do. So she's gonna be blown away that you didn't sit there and try to keep her talking like most guys. And that's where your very first seed of attraction begins with a beautiful woman. The very first seed that you need to plant in order to prove that you're not like the rest. And the next time she sees you, she won't be afraid to say hi to you or conversate with you further. And finally, secret trick number 3. Now this is a bit of a reiteration of the first 2 secrets. However, it is essential to making them work and meeting tons of beautiful women at your gym consistently. So secret trick number 3 is do not try and close her the same day that you meet her. All right? Unless she's giving you all the signs that she wants to see you outside of the gym, which if she's a beautiful woman is going to be very, very rare for the first time. This almost never happens during the very first meeting. So you need to be patient. If she works out at your gym and you've seen her before, don't worry, you're going to see her again. The last thing you want is her feeling uncomfortable the next time she sees you. Instead, you want her feeling that you're not gonna try and hit on her every time you see her at the gym. You want to be as non-threatening as possible. The first few times you see her, you just want to say hi to her, have some light conversation, and that will open the door to more conversations with her without setting off any alarm bells that you're trying to get in her pants. Okay? Meeting beautiful women at your gym isn't like day game where you never have to see this person again if you screw up. Okay? At the gym, you will see this person again. And if you've screwed up by jumping the gun too early, trying to ask her out before you've built up attraction, it's gonna suck every time you go work out and you bump into her. So when meeting a beautiful woman at the gym, don't try and close the very first time you talk to her because you will see her again. So when you see her for the first few times, all you wanna do is say hi. Okay, that's all you wanna do. Just say hi and have some light conversation, and always end your conversation before she does. This is critical. You need to end the conversation before she does, okay? Before she cuts you off and goes, okay, well, I have to go, it's nice seeing you. You're done. As soon as she does that, you're done. You have to end these conversations before she does. Do not stand there like a wuss waiting for her to give you signs of attraction. I can almost guarantee it's not gonna happen, at least not the first few times. Like any beautiful woman you meet, no matter if you meet her at the gym or not, you still have to roll up your sleeves and build attraction. That means no complimenting, no staring at her, no stalking. You're simply going to be starting short, non-threatening, outcome-free conversations with her. Don't be looking for an outcome every time you talk to her, because she will feel it from you and you'll blow yourself out. Think of it this way. Imagine you being a secret agent and your mission is to attract this beautiful woman at your gym without blowing your cover and without creeping her out. If you were given this mission, would you automatically go to your gym, jump on the treadmill next to her, and try and ask her out? No, of course you wouldn't. Instead, you would take your time. You would get to know her. You would feel her out. You would see what she likes, what she doesn't like. Why? So you can use this information to build attraction with her and get her to ask you out. Because remember what I've taught you in previous lessons. Again, when it comes to attracting beautiful women, you need to get her to communicate her interest first before you communicate yours. And if she hasn't done that yet, guess what? You need to roll up your sleeves and get back to work until she finally does. Okay? And during this time, you can never compliment her, you can never pump up her ego, and you can never communicate your attraction for her, because once you do, your cover will be blown and she'll know it was all a sham and you're just another guy trying to get in her pants, and she'll send you right to her friend zone with all those other guys who failed to attract her, all those other guys who were impatient, had no discipline, were lazy, uncreative, and just tried to communicate their interests using that hope attraction and hoping that, you know, she would reciprocate, but she didn't. She just put them in the friend zone because she was like, those guys were trying to scam me. They were full of agenda. They were attached to that outcome. They were trying to get outcome from me. They were trying to get something from me. And I'm not going to let them get away with it. I'm just putting them in the friend zone. So to wrap up, the 3 secret tricks to meeting tons of beautiful women at your gym are: number 1, get on the cardio machine next to her and make it your mission to introduce yourself very quickly without raising any suspicion that you're trying to hit on her. Okay? And you can accomplish this simply by asking her to come find you and let you know when she's done, because her machine happens to be right in front of the television or the fan or the air conditioner. All you're looking to do is start your initial conversation with her so you can open the door to more conversation with her. That's it. Okay? You're not starting an initial conversation with her to get her phone number, to ask her out, to see if she likes you. That's not the point of your initial conversation. The point of your initial conversation is simply to introduce yourself, have very, very light conversation, and then walk away. Okay? You want to leave the door open for more conversation without setting off any alarm bells. Okay, secret trick number 2, if you're not in the cardio section, but you're in the weight room and you see a beautiful woman in the weight room, which is becoming a lot more common these days, you want to go to a machine right next to her or near her and ask her to spot you on a couple of sets. Again, your only mission is to start your initial conversation with her, okay, in order to open the door for more conversation in the future for the next time you see her. So all you're going to ask her to do is spot you on a couple of sets, say thank you, and walk away. That's it. Mission accomplished. Don't try and sit there trying to find more things to talk about, hoping she gives you signs of attraction. If she's a beautiful woman, she will not give them to you the very first time you talk to her. So be willing to walk away and continue your conversation for the next time you see her. Remember the old saying, live today, fight tomorrow. And finally, secret trick number 3, never attempt to close any beautiful woman at your gym the very first time you meet her. Never, ever, ever do this, because I guarantee you will fail 99.9% of the time, and you'll feel very awkward the next time you see her and she starts avoiding you. So these are 3 secret tricks you can start using right now to meet tons of beautiful women at your gym starting today. Until next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets, and I'll see you in the next video.